Hi, this is Tai Pan for Shanzai.com, and what you're looking at today is the Hero RK7 tablet, and that's something that's a little bit different and great because it's this lovely looking tablet device that you can see here is actually for the first time one of the few tablets we looked at that's not a complete clone of the iPad in the 7-inch form factor. And if you look at the device, it's in a moment as we check it out in detail, it is quite actually a very good looking tablet. Now, coming in the box here, all the coloring and stylings of the box are all black. There's not a lot of marketing going on the outside of the case here. You can see there's pretty much no markers or indication of anything of what's inside of the product that we receive for review anyway. They may differ for the product that you purchase online. The tablet comes with an HDMI to mini HDMI cable, which is kind of interesting, which should tell us something interesting about the product in a moment as well. Comes with a mini USB to full USB female, so you can actually connect that to your regular USB products that you have. But it also comes with the regular mini to male USB connection, so there's lots of ways to connect to the device that we'll be seeing in a moment. And of course there's your headphones, and this time instead of the iPad, iPhone white, Apple everything, we've got black, so actually for me that's almost a refreshing change. And we've got also a little magic wand that comes here. This is for people who want to do magical things with their device, or potentially unscrew the top and extend it into a digitized, what do you call these things, the friggin' a stylus. I haven't used one of these things in ages, sorry. Looks like there's some sort of approval stamp inside to tell you that the device has been checked out and approved by somebody. And here's the actual device itself. Alright, now looking at the Hero RK7, it's a 7-inch form factor device with a 7-inch screen. Again, it's inside, it comes inside of this lovely little case. It almost looks like the moleskin type of writing pads. I don't know if you've ever seen those before, but they're kind of a famous brand for just some writing materials. It's obviously been designed to look like that, has that nice feeling to it. One of the interesting things as we look through the device is this actual case is literally screwed on, bolted onto the back of the device. So actually, even though it looks like a case for your tablet, it actually is part of the tablet as well. Pulling the tablet open, reveals actually one of the best looking non-clone tablets that we've come across so far and had in our hot little hands. It's got a fantastic build quality on it. The thing really feels solid. I mean, you can tell right away the glass and the screen and everything is a little bit higher quality than some of the products that we've reviewed before. All the other ones are standard but are pretty good, but they have a little bit more of a plasticky feel. Well, this is a bit of a resistive touch screen. It's actually got a glass over top, and the buttons are all part of inside of the device are actually flush with the glass material, kind of the same way that you have on some of the more higher end mobile phones. It's got a nice shiny metallic finisher on the outside, and as I said, it's actually connected to the actual case, so there's not any removing that case with unless you get your screwdriver out and you have a go at it, and who knows, maybe we will do that later at some point. Like all the cases for the iPad, this one also functions, if you stick the little holder in the back, it functions as a display stand. So at some point, if you're going to be watching content on your device, you can do so. Moving away from the display stand, we've also got some of the I/O here for you to check. There's a dedicated on and off power button flush here. There's also the headphone jack, the power jack. There's also the mini USB, HDMI, and full USB. So there's a lot of connectivity options for the device. Circling around the rest of the hardware there, you'll find that there's nothing actually else except for a small SD card slot that goes here along the bottom. It's sort of wedged in between the case and the actual device itself. On the top, there is some kind of little plastic thing. Maybe it's for the Wi-Fi antenna to let the signal out, or I'm not really sure what that's for. Maybe something in the future product revisions. And looking on the front face of the device, you'll see the menu, home, and back buttons, which are the 3 typical Android operating system buttons that you'll find on a device. The other interesting thing is that it's also running Android 2.1, which is nice to see and starting to become very much the standard for Shanzai tablets. So the HeroTab RK7 is powered inside by the same Telechip processor that we saw from the Korean company that was available also in the Moots 7002 that we reviewed last week. Now, the nice thing about that on the Moots was the great high definition 1080p video playback that we were really impressed by. But on the Moon's device, that 600 megahertz chip was overclocked to 720 megahertz, whereas on the device here, we're seeing it has been overclocked to 800 megahertz. So while both products have the same battery, this will probably have a slightly less of a battery life because the screen quality is better and the processor has been overclocked a little bit higher. So jumping into our high definition video performance on the device, let's take a look at first of all the 1080p WMV version that the Moon's device played so well. Here it is, opening up in full screen. As you can expect, pretty much the same performance that we were able to see with the Moon's device. Again, the speaker quality is very loud. I'm sure you can hear that very well in the video. Alright, going back. Let's pull out of that for a moment. Now I'm going to go back and try to play the 1080p version again, but this time in an H.264 format. One of the comments in one of the reviews we did, somebody said, well, nobody can post their videos in WMV. We do, and the device claims that it can play them, so I'm not sure how evident that is on the video camera they're watching this, but again, it seems to have, the Telechip processor seems to have the same problem on the Moon's that it did with on this device, is that it does handle 1080p video in the WMV format very well, but in the H.264 format it's still a little bit stuttery. If you look at the same video in 720p, performance is flawless. Basically, it just seems to be maybe a couple of codecs seem to give the device a little bit of some trouble that way. Anyway, enough of our video extravaganza here for you. One thing I need to talk about is the screen quality is made of glass screen. You can feel the difference when you compare that to some of the other Shanzai tablets that we've played with. And the glass is very nice because one thing, it makes it feel really solid and good build quality. And second of all, it doesn't pick up as many fingerprints. You'd think the glass would, but actually you can fool around with the device, rub your hands all over it, and there's not so much fingerprinting. That's the great side of that. The slight downside of it is that on a resistive touch screen, there's no give on the screen when you touch it with the glass. And so sometimes we noticed while we were touching and making functions of the device where it didn't seem quite as fast and responsive as we expected. But if you're used to it and you played around with it a little while, you know how to push the device and make things happen, it doesn't seem to be a problem. Web surfing seems to be quite good on the device here. Let's fire up the browser for a moment. We surfed around with this. I found, again, it was comparable with the Moon's product. It fires up the cache websites pretty quickly. Once again, while we're fooling around in the back end, you can see that the Android 2.1 icons are larger. That was also similar to the Moon's implementation that we checked out last week. Somewhere I've seen that this device doesn't have connection to the Android app market, but actually we found that the application was on the device when we found it. Let's accept the Android market application. Let's see how it goes. And it's now trying to load up the app market. There you go. The app market is there. I think probably those who buy the product will find that the app market is available on the device, which is always kind of nice. It can simplify how you're going to get all of your apps. So that's good. Let's get back to the home screen here. One of the nice things about the Android 2.1 before that we showed is it's got like different kinds of wallpapers that you can use and add in the background. It also has the live wallpapers, very much similar to the some of the ones we looked at before. Let's look at the live wallpapers. Let's look at Galaxy. Okay, that's the one that wasn't available to us on the last one. Loading live wallpaper. Let's set that. Doesn't that make your device look special? For all you Star Trek fans who want to boldly go where no Shanzai tablet's gone before, there you go. You get a nice galaxy effect as a background for your desktop of your device. Oops, there we go. Let's get back inside there. Bring up the images. The screen quality, as I said, is fantastic, so I think for a lot of people, you could easily imagine using this beside your on your bedstand or something as a display for your favorite pictures of your children and your girlfriend or whatever. Moving back out of there for a second. Let's check around to the device. Music functionality, I think you could hear from the video performance of the speaker quality is very loud on the device, which is good. You don't need the headphones unless you really want them to. We'll take a quick look at the YouTube for a moment here. Let's see if I can bring that up for you. There's YouTube, again, it's the simplified interface similar to the Moose product. And let's look at Rafa Marquez first goal for New York Red Bulls. Barcelona, Mexican player, looks like he's already on the score sheets back here in the States with his new contract. Loading up the video. Again, this is probably our Wi-Fi, so it's taking so long.
Air stepping up. Able to get it across. Dean Richards. Albright overlaps. Chris Albright. Plays it across, looking for Henri. Broken up. Johnny. Trying to keep it alive. Rafa Marquez. Shot. Go!
Wow.
Goal!
Well, that was Thierry Henry passing to Gabriel Marquez. I guess the MLS soccer has definitely improved its quality of its players. Great goal there. So to wrap up the review and look at the HeroTab RK7, one thing I have to say is it's probably one of the better build qualities we've had. I would say it's even better in terms of feel and solidity and actual terms of the actual external product than the Moose 7002 that we reviewed. However, there is a small penalty for that. It is a little bit heavier than the Moose device, so again, if that's important to you, I guess you can make your decisions as you should. I really do like the actual external case for that. For me, I think that's the perfect way to carry the device around. People won't know you've got a tablet on you. You don't look too geeky if you don't want to. You can whip it out easily when you need it, but the rest of the time it just looks like a little file of facts that you can be carrying around with you, and I think that's great. The one thing we didn't look at today in this review is the HDMI output. Now, we've got a TV with HDMI cable connection available to us tomorrow, so we're going to hook that up to the device again, and we'll put together a short video just to add that kind of performance on it for your next look at the device. But anyway, I think that wraps up the review for the HeroTab RK7, a product that I would say gets up there into our top 3 with the WITS A81E, the Moose 7002, and now let's add into that category of quality of products the HeroTab RK7.